Welcome to Mishna study and a new Masechet Pesachim. Over here, we're going to study the laws of Pesach, specifically after learning the laws of Shabbat and the order the Torah presents the Mu'adim. After it presents Shabbat, it speaks to the Mu'adim, and Pesach being the first one. Right, the Mu'ad more specifically as Chag HaMatzot. Pesach is referred to more as the Korban Pesach, as we'll learn a lot of those laws in this Mishnah, in this Masechet. We're going to focus a lot, we'll see in the beginning, about the laws of Hamess. That's really going to be the first few Perakim. Then we're going to speak about the laws of Korban Pesach. Finally, at the end of our Masechet, we're going to speak about the Leil HaSeder. Right, so let's jump into the first Mishnah over here. And that is, when do we do the Bedikat Hamess? When it comes to searching for Hamess, cleaning our homes, when do we need to do all that by? So even though we're allowed to eat Hamess all the way up until the 14th midday, Hatzot, right, Midoraita, we'll see more of these laws in our Perek, we need to go ahead and search for Hamess in our homes the night before. And this is what we even do today, and it's based on this Mishnah. Or Ba'asar, literally it means, the light, of the 14th, but over here it's using the opposite language, right? We don't want to open up with the Masechet with darkness, the nightfall, right? So we can use the opposite language of light, even though it's really referring to the nightfall, right, of the 14th. So as soon as the 14th night rolls in, that's when we're going to have to do our Bedikat Hamess. So Bodkin Hamess L'or Haner, you need to go ahead and check the Hamess, look for Hamess L'or Haner, right, to a fire, right? Even today, this is what we do. We use a candle or a flashlight in order to search for Hamess. So why do we have to do it this time? Because at night, two things. One is it's easier, it's better. You're able to see better when you're able to check out in in the little cracks, crevices of looking for Hamess. When you're using a flame, it's better to check with. It's easier to see. And secondly, this is when most people are home. And being most people home, this is when Chachamim instituted that we need to check Bedikat Hamess. Now, any place that you don't bring Hamess into, you don't need to check. Now, what would fall into this category? I'm going to also add a line into this Mishnah over here based on the way the Gemara and Rambam, fix this Mishnah. And that is, so those, any place you don't bring Hamess into, you don't need Bedika. Storage houses of wine and oil also don't need the Bedika. Now, the Mishnah continues, so if so, why do you need to check 2 rows in the martef? Right, the martef is the storage area where they would keep all these wines. Right? Why do you need to check it all? If we just said that you don't need to, okay, so if you bring Hamess there, then, right, makom shemachnisim bo Hamess, that's a place where you need to check. So if in the, in your wine cellar, sometimes you go eat lunch there and take a sandwich down, then you need to check. But if you don't, you won't have to check at all. Now, when you need to check there, how much do you have to check? How thorough do you need to be? So Bet Shammai omrim, sheteh shurot al penei kol hamartef. You need to check 2 rows, the 2 external rows facing the entire storage unit, the entire wine cellar, right? So this is the picture over here. I drew it out. Hanabam brings the case if it's 10 rows by 10 rows. Right over here we did 4 by 4. Right, so you see 4 by 4, so there's 16 times 4, so there's 64 barrels over here. If you look at the the left picture of Bet Shammai, so Bet Shammai is saying you need to do the 16 barrels that are facing you, and the 16 that are facing the top. Right, of course, there's overlapping 4. If it was 100 barrels, the case that Rambam brings down, I just didn't have a picture accessible. It would be 10 facing you, and the 10 facing the ceiling, right, which would be a total of 190. Right, barrels of the 1,000 that's there. That's Bet Shammai. Bet Hillel omrim, right? What does Bet Hillel say? Bet Hillel omrim sheteh shurot hachitzonot she'en hagleinot. All you need to do is the 2 upper rows that are the the top ones, right? So the 2 top ones that are facing you. That's the only place where you have to assume Hamess could have gotten to, but not anything more than that. And obviously, halakha is like Bet Hillel, as it always is in our Mishnah.